Hello and welcome. My name's Kathy A. and I'm sitting in my living room. I thought I'd give you a little change of background just for fun. Anyway, I went the other day to Dollar Tree and I thought I would film while I was there, and I actually took over an hour and a half of footage. The staff there was so nice, and I had a friend with me who was helping me with the scenes of me. I was wearing my huge giant leather coat. I had hat hair. It was a bad makeup day. I mean, it was just awful. So anyway. So I thought I would just kind of give you a tour of the Dollar Tree that's in Hudson, Massachusetts, which is in the middle of the state somewhere. It's not in Boston and it's not on the other side, which they don't, that's kind of like the Berkshires and stuff. It's in the middle, and it's kind of a suburban area, regular people kind of place. It's a very well maintained store, and out of all the Dollar Trees that are nearby me and that I've been into, this is the best maintained, and the staff's always nice. Things are on the shelf, they're not in big boxes, and there's not a lot of trash. I felt like the store is very clean. So it is right around, it's early February, and I was just getting over the flu, so I wasn't feeling well, and again, the hat hair thing was very disturbing. Very disturbing. When I looked at the footage, I was like, should I even show this? Oh. Anyway, so I thought I would go over some items that I like to buy at Dollar Tree, and I think that they're worth going to Dollar Tree for, and I know a lot of people were upset when it went to $1.25, even more to $1.50, $1.75, $3, $5, and we actually saw a $10 item there during this visit. I still think for the majority of the stuff that I'm going to show you that I buy there, I think the pricing is pretty good. A lot of stuff you can get for cheaper, and I'll notate that in a voiceover for the footage in the store. But I think it'll be fun. You can just shop along with me and we'll go over things. Well, here we are headed into the Dollar Tree in Hudson, Massachusetts on Groundhog Day. Grabbing a cart, and here we starting off with the holiday and seasonal items. They're really known for this kind of thing, for chintzy decor and inexpensive stuff. There's those balloons. A lot of them get caught up in the ceiling. Oh, these are really pretty. These are they're spring, although they are usually a summer flower. You can see the inside of those glasses have white stickers on the inside. I love the plates. I don't like the writing on things, and there's some silver charger plates underneath. On this side, they have another pattern, the wildflowers, which is again very pretty. The smaller plates and the cups have that live life in full bloom, which why do they do that? Oh. Moving over here to St. Patty's Day stuff, they have the socks and the cheesy door and decor, the rainbows, the shamrocks, the leprechauns, all kinds of fun things. Some of the stuff looks fairly high-end though. These eggs look very nice, and the rabbits too. Those down there are pretty cheesy, but we're heading over here. We've got a mixture of 3 holidays here: Valentine's Day, Easter, and St. Patty's Day. So got a lot of things to tuck into Easter baskets, bubbles. There's some buckets and things to use. Across the aisle we have our Valentine's Day silly hats, Valentines to hand out for the class. 12 count boxes of them for $1.25. We have necklaces, tableware, signage, few other things. And I love the candy. There I am with my bad hat hair. They do have the heart picks, which I think are very nice, and you put them in cakes so you can use them in your craft projects or wreaths. And then we have the Easter stuff. There's those trees down there if you're going to do a escape. Moving into the garden and flowers division, They actually have some fairly decent looking containers for plants. And since you are starting plants or you're thinking about putting things out on the porch, they do have a pretty good assortment. The watering cans, I love the colors. And then they have the fake barrels. These are all plastics, but they do have drainage. A lot of them do have the drainage holes. I was particularly taken with these different ones that look like stoneware, but they're actually a thin plastic. That'd be nice. They're not too heavy, and they came in an assortment of colors. The flowers are really pretty. I always like, you know, finding different ones. These are adorable planters, although there's no drainage in them. They're absolutely adorable. Look at the little panda. And then I think I was quite attracted to the owl in the back there. Let me pull him. Oh, there he is. These are cute. These were $1.25. Really, really cute. And then these little pots with personality. There's sets of 4 for $1.50, I believe. We have some Valentine cards. Those are money holder cards. And then we have the chimes, the wind chimes. I absolutely love this one with the hummingbird on it. Isn't that pretty? It makes a nice tinkle sound. We have the shears. There's those bee attractors. They think they get hummingbirds from them, but I think mostly bees and flies. They do have seeds, and it says it goes over 100 square feet of wildflowers. They have different mixes, impatiens and butterfly mix, and then they have the chintzy gloves. They're just a little thin. They have the stakes, and these are the kits. You can do the tomatoes and some of the other specialty items. They've got all the kits in there with very easy instructions. I absolutely loved these little birdhouses. They were $5. They were quite large, and they were all very uniquely painted, but they were a metal, so I think they're just absolutely too stinking cute. And then these are, it looks like a large jackknife, but that's a nice saw pruning tool. And they have bird baths and those stakes. I don't like those solar stakes. They go out pretty quickly. Oh, there's a bug zapper. We had one in my office, which was kind of funny. It's a little cruel and weird, but my bosses used to love to zap the flies and things that got into our door, you know. Now this is really cool. This is a rolling stand, and this is for a pot or a statue, or I'm using my foot to move it so you can see it roll, but really different colors. And it looked like it was quite substantial. It could hold, I'm not sure, it could hold a really heavy thing, but I thought that would be really nice for an indoor pot or something on the porch that you can move. There's some more flowers, and they have such beautiful assortments. If you get in on it early enough, you can get some really nice assortments of flowers. And if you're fairly handy with arranging, you can make it look realistic. Now the candles, they do have soy candles, but they're hard to find. And so I thought these healthy looking ones down at the end here, I thought those were soy, but I couldn't find anywhere where it said they were. They're made in Canada, and they smelled really good. Clarity and something else. They had French or Spanish in that. These are made in Canada. I could not find it if that was made of soy. But I definitely would have got them if they were. And there's a little tea lights, of course, they're famous for little baskets, candle holders, candle holder plates. They have stands, candle stands. Moving into the kitchen. All right, they have quite an assortment of stuff. Most of it is a cheap metal. I wouldn't recommend it. They do have some metal things that are worth it. The larger of the two graters is worth it, and the potato masher. I love this thing. I use it for dumplings and for pasta. I don't use anything plastic when I'm cooking for the BPA. Now this splatter screen, it works nicely, however it does rust easily, and that's kind of gross. On the very bottom they have the bins that you can wash your dishes in. And here all the plastics, BPA stuff, I would not use that stuff. But there was a surprise here. There were some wooden items with silicone handles. They had the flat paddle, the slotted spoon, and then the regular spoon, but there wasn't enough of a dip in that spoon to make me happy with that. They did have some clips, some spoon rests, and then these awful microfiber towels. These cheap pot holders, they're just not thick enough. I mean, you might as well just be using a couple paper towels because they're too thin. Although I did like the drying mats, and I did get that one that I have in my hand. I did buy that one. They have a nice assortment of colors. There's some shelf risers, cutting boards, and then there's some nice little rugs. I should have bought this one for my little coffee mess stand. And those aren't so great either, the folding ones. They do have cloth tablecloths, and the red dot I believe indicates $150 or $175 on the pricing. Moving into a lot of the foil stuff, they're now $175, and I think you can get a better deal like at Walmart or Family Dollar or other stores. They do have the pre-cut parchment paper. They also have the rolled parchment paper, but during cookie season, this was so convenient to just, you know, fold it out. You can crumple it up and it sits better in your pan. And then the little ones, you can use in muffin pans, and it makes it look like a bakery muffin with the folded parchment paper. They are coming in sets depending of 2 to 4, and they also have aluminum sheets separately too. The aluminum though is awfully thin. Now there I am looking at the glass containers for food storage. It's very hard to find these because they sell out quickly. They had the 2 colors, but they didn't have any other sizes available when I went into this store. And this store was fairly well stocked. Here's the garbage bags, trash bags. I would not recommend those at all. They did have the crock pot liners, and they do have like the foil and the saran wrap, that kind of thing. Here's the sippy cups, the plastic stuff. I really wouldn't recommend that. These, I did have these during autumn time. I thought it was real pleasant. That band around it helped keep my hand from getting burned, but they're very thin and your coffee goes cold quickly. I don't like plastic sippy cups for kids. There's some contact rolls for your shelves, lining your shelves. And then they have some mugs, an assortment of mugs. These chip so easily though, and I'm just not that thrilled with them. Now I love these containers, and I'll talk about them a little later, but they are glass and they have metal tops to them. I use them in my baking section. I have a lot of staples in there, and here's some lids for canning. If you have any mason jars, you can reuse your mason jar with these new fresh lids. They're pretty well. They have some nice rocks glasses here. I'm really impressed with this one. And then they have, of course, wine glasses and an assortment of other things. I do like the glassware. I don't like the dishes. I just think they're too, they chip too easily, and they have some stinking cute designs. Look at this tie-dye version here, a little Grateful Dead thing going on there. But it does chip so easily, and it's just not worth it. These are little kitchen mats that you can use to step on, but they're very cheap, and they can, once they get wet or heat or anything, they can actually leave residue on your floor underneath. I hate styrofoam. I can't believe they're still selling it. Oh my gosh. Moving along, here are their Stanley copycats. Not even close. They're an awkward shape, an awkward size. I don't really like them. Just a small pet section. I wouldn't buy anything here for dogs and cats. I love dogs and cats, and I just wouldn't do it. Although they do seem to have a copycat version of the Caesar ones. Moving along to paper goods, room sprays, and cleaning stuff, which they really have a lot of these types of things. Paper towels, tissues, the small tissue boxes, paper towels, toilet paper. The soft and strong and soft is not too bad. These thousands are not good. And actually the pricing isn't all that great compared to other places. I'd much prefer to get it somewhere like Walmart. Now you've got all of the room scents. You can get the potty spray, the plug-ins, things like that. The pricing on their main brand is much higher. You'll see they are like $3.25. The generic Wizard and their home brands are much less. Over here we have more of the plug-in and the Febreze. It's $3.75. That's pretty much maybe 25 cents less than Walmart. They do have the candle ones, and then the dishwashing liquid. I'm not keen on most of them. I mean, if Dawn is the best one, and it's actually at $1.50, it's a little bit high. You can find it at that price at Walmart, maybe a little bit less. So I wouldn't recommend any of their home brands because they're very watered down. Oh, that's a lemon Dawn. I've never seen that. Here's the mops and brooms and things, and what you do is you select the broom or mop that you want, and then you go down here and you buy a pole, and that can go from mop to mop. So you can actually get 3 or 4 different mop heads or broom heads and use one stick and then just transfer it. I really like that particular dustpan. It was quite large. And this is about the best deal in the place. That is a Swifter base. You can just put the rod on there, and right next to it you've got those cloth cleaning cloths. So you can spray, you know, your cleaner down and wipe, and you could throw those things in the laundry. It's remarkably ecologically inclined for these folks. There are 2 quick erasers or magic erasers in their brand compared to the one for the same price, and those are $1.50. Here's some storage bins. I guess we're not going to look at those right now. I did a lot of editing. Here's some scrubby brushes and some toilet brushes and some microfiber towels and all of the different latex gloves, disposable gloves for food service. They have a couple of different sizes. Be careful. You don't want to get it too small. And now here are those bins. Those are different varieties. I have buffalo plaid. Those sell out very quickly, but they do have some nice designs in them. They're not very sturdy, but depending on what you're putting in them, it can make your closet look organized. And these are under the bed holders for clothing and vacuum packs, and then you've got your over the door hooks. Really, really nice. I used an under the bed container. It was quite sturdy. Now these are those balls you put in your dryer to bounce against your laundry and have it dry faster, but I much prefer wool balls. Wool, you know, the woolen balls, because I don't like to put more microplastic into my stuff. There's some lint rollers galore. We have mesh bags for laundry, clothespins. Those are great, not just for hanging up clothes, but also for keeping your chip bags closed and things like that. So here's some cleaning stuff here. Comet and Ajax powders, poison, toxic, liquid plumber, toxic, tidy bowl. And we have a lot of the Comets. This ceramic cooktop cleaner from Carbona is much more expensive in the outside world, so that's a really good price on that for $1.50. The scrubbing stuff is okay. I'm panning a little fast. The Odo band is really good, but it is more expensive. It is $3, and it comes in just the 2, the eucalyptus and the lavender. The carpet stuff, I really like carpet cleaners from the Dollar Tree. It does a great job. Fabuloso is a classic all-around cleaner. Then they have the bleaches. Here are the laundry detergents. Pine Sol, poison, toxic, disinfectant wipes. You're not supposed to inhale those. They do have spick and span, and these are their brands. I do like the sage one, sage peppermint. Their laundry detergents are quite watered down. These laundry detergent sheets, I did try them, but I didn't think they were very effective. Fabric up on the top, the Fabric Refresh, you can spray that in chairs, on your clothes, on your coats, and it does help make things smell nice. Look at that Brazilian Sol. It's like Sol de Janeiro scented beads for your laundry. And we have little single packs if you're at the laundromat on vacation. Moving into storage. Alrighty. Oh, I love these. The colors are so beautiful. The pink, the purple. I like the green. I started to look at them, and then my friend said, hey, let me film you. So you'll see a little bit of a change over here, and then suddenly I am looking at the stuff. There I am with my bad hair, looking at and marveling at the containers. These are a really nice size for makeup or underwear drawers or sock drawers. I was having trouble filling around. I was trying to look pleasantly, engaged here. Mr. Artistic decided to do vertical and horizontal filming. He didn't realize that it doesn't adjust itself on the camera. I kept doing it. I like these. Those are tote style, and I think those sell out quickly. And on the bottom you have your large wash buckets, and you have laundry baskets. I was really keen on that green. I thought that was just so pretty. But you could have, 3 different colors for your whites, your darks, and your, extra soiled or whatever laundry. I really like them. Very nice. There's the plastic bins. I don't like those. They had garbage cans, and then they have the shoebox holders. I loved this design. I thought it was really, really upscale looking. This was a pale green. It's not coming out that way in the video, but it is a very pale green, very muted shade, and I thought it was just lovely. They had 2 sizes of that, and they had the green, and then they had the ivory color and the dark dusty blue, and then the larger trash cans and the bins. These were the solar lights, again in the yard. They look like really nice. It takes a lot of sunshine. If you have any shade at all, they do not light up. They're not very strong, and it's hard. You can't really replace them. This is a shower caddy, and it has the drainage slots in the front, which is pretty good. I believe these were in the $5 bin. You can also hang things from there, like your puff and other things. And there's a 6 cube storage rack, so you can put those cubes that we were looking at earlier. Food time. Alrighty, well, slap into a Slim Jim. There you go. They do have little snacks, the combos and the nuts and things. Again, I don't know how old they are. They have the dried cranberries, all the popcorn. They have the crackers and cookies. I don't think they're very good. They do have brand names, but the brand names are almost as expensive as they are in a regular grocery store. See, the Pop-Tarts there are much more expensive. And of course, I got distracted by the makeup at the end. They put makeup end caps on almost every end cap, and I was just kind of bedazzled by everything there. Heading on up. And my friend decided to photograph the food instead of me. Okay. The baking aisle. A lot of this stuff is fake, not good. The vanilla is imitation. They do have some bakery mixes and cake mixes. And actually, the Pillsbury traditional vanilla cake mix got very high ratings. from the from some consumer group that's on there, and I think Consumer Reports gave it a good rating. A lot of these are portioned very small, so even though the pricing is smaller, it's a smaller amount in the package. And they had quite a nice variety in this store. Now, I love the spices. They're $1.25. Walmart had 99-cent ones. Aldi had 99-cent ones. So I don't know if they're a tremendously great deal. But there's some really unique combinations. The hot honey seasoning, barbecue, Texas barbecue rub. They had citrus. They also had like lime salt and lemon salt and orange salt seasoning. I thought that was really neat. And then they have, of course, regular salt. They did have the pink Himalayan as well, and pumpkin pie spice. So they also had all of the gravy mixes and ranch dressing mix and things like that. I don't like the peanut butter or the jelly, and if you read the ingredients on them, you'll be horrified. The pricing on some of these items is pretty good. This Rotel diced tomatoes with green chilies runs around $2 to $2.50 in the store. It's only $1.25 here. Panko breadcrumbs can run $2 to $3.50, and they're only $1.25. And then they also have croutons, tortilla strips. Again, they're slightly less in the package than you would get at the grocery store, so don't let that fool you. But you're only having them for one meal. Ooh, look at that gnarly ragu. It's separated. Ew. The Hunt's traditional, you can use as a nice base. This is something I've never seen before. Broken taco, spicy peppers, and then there's lots of pastas down there. Hunt's ketchup, it's probably about 50 cents to $1 less than it is in the other stores, so that's not bad. More mixes, more chemistry, but they do have the Knorr mixes, and those are good. Mac and cheese mix, $1.25, a little bit less. Hungry Jack, this is interesting. This had my fascination. The beef pasta did. There's a lot of chemistry in there, but I like Hungry Jack pancake mix. I doctor it up, and they had some brand name stuff as well. The cereals I do not like at all. They do have name brands, but again, they've got reduced amounts, and so they're not a great deal. I would not trust the syrup. They do have smaller versions of the Hungry Jack mix. Then their coffee stuff, forget about it. I even picked one up to smell it, and it didn't even smell like coffee. Just no. Absolutely horrible. They do have the creamers, the tea. I was told once that tea in these places is the stuff they sweep up from when they're sorting through real tea leaves on the top of the table. Whatever falls on the floor is what's swept up and used in the tea bags. So this was an interesting looking soda pop. It looked like it had some old school cream soda, root beer, orange, and then these giant ones. They're really cheap tasting though. I used to get the Diet Cola. Sunny D. I didn't know they still made Sunny D. And they have their version of the cranberry juice cocktails. This crap for kids there with the stuff. But these are nice. It's a good size. For $1.25, it is less than the gallon jug or half-gallon jug. And these ice things are really pleasant. Liquid Death, they aren't kidding. That's the caffeine drink. I love the ice drinks. And these protein things at $1.25, they don't normally sell them individually. They usually sell them in 4-packs, 12-packs, and 24-packs, and they're much more expensive. So they're like 1/4 of the price of what you would pay. I do like the regular popcorn that you pop yourself, either in a pan or you can do it in the microwave in a paper bag. And then there's all their popcorn and potato chips and stuff. Boom Chicka Pop. They have a lot of different ones. And then they have the popcorners at the top. I like the cheddar one. Snickerdoodle cookie popcorn. Wow. Of course, that grabbed my attention. And they have the regular soda pops too, but they're much more expensive. Kitty stuff for spring and summer breaks. And then they have the crackers. Again, I'm not keen on their crackers. They do have name brand stuff, but again, it's mighty expensive. And there's the individual cupcakes. I don't know how old they are, if they're even from this year. And then the fudge mint ones aren't bad. The fudge mint cookies, I did try those. And then there's all of the candies that you can get. If you're taking the grandkids over to the movies, you can come here first and they can pick out their favorites, so you won't pay an arm and a leg besides paying for the movie. And everybody can have what they want. Household crafts and decor and clothes. Moving into the household, there's shower curtain rings to hold your shower curtain on, and shower curtains themselves. They're really cheap and flimsy. Would not recommend, definitely. These are throw blankets. They are $6 each, and there's a nice designs there. Posters. Evanescence. Godzilla. Anime, SpongeBob, Spider-Man guitar chords. That's kind of a nice one. And we have Linkin Park, the Wicked poster. I didn't even know they had posters. There's basketball, Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, Lakers, running poster. Anime, all kinds of different stuff, and hang in there baby, the cat thing. Okay, now that was a minute of my life I won't get back. All right, I already went down that aisle, so we're going to go down again. Here we go. Oh, strawberries. This is a nice way to store your strawberries in the refrigerator. You can keep, you can rinse them and put them in there. They do have calendars too. I think that, you know, you can get a really pretty calendar. I like the mountains. You can escape if you're at work or you've got it right by the door. You can see what's going on. They also have desk calendars, which are quite expensive if you buy them from a stationery store. And those, the red dot, I believe, means $150. These are rug squares. You can put them by the door. People have their messy, snowy shoes on them. Very cheap totes. Not impressed. Slippers, fuzzy slippers, and we've got some t-shirts, socks. These are size 3X, 2X, wife beater ones. The socks are just so stinking cute, but after you wash them one time, they shrink a little bit and they get all gnarly inside, and your toes get caught up in them. I absolutely hate their socks. Look at that York one. It's so cool. It was one wearing and then it's gone. Now the socks that aren't too bad, oh, rock on. The socks that aren't too bad are like the diabetic socks. They have black and white. Usually, sometimes you'll find the gray ones if it fits your lifestyle. They are very good for the price. They're a very good sock, and you'll see them right there. There's the white and the black. Really good. So those are the only socks I will rave about. I've bought some in the past that they don't have anymore. Here's some frames. Some of them you can work with. You can upscale them a little bit. Some of them are just pretty dang cheap, and some of them are just literally sprayed cardboard like that. It's really super cheap. Ew. But I did like these. This is a nice shape. These are nice. You know, you could do a DIY project and make them look really nice if you're doing a bunch of them. And they had these small ones, which I thought were kind of neat too. The brown or the black, the silver. So not too bad. And they did have mats for the frames as well. They had these chintzy magazines, coloring books for the kids. Here's some foam molds for floral arrangements, and then you've got your moss. Moving over here. How did I get into the automotive? I snuck over here. Automotive. And you know what? I picked up this side shade, this side window shade, and I'll be darned, I really needed to use it because I get the solar flare in both directions when I'm traveling, and that would be so handy for $5. We actually do have the auto in a separate section, and oops, my bad. Now these yarns are not full skeins, and then these are fat quarters fabrics, so you know, whatever suits your fancy. If you need another fabric for a craft, or you need something in a pinch. Then there's some storage stuff. I love these stickers. Oh my gosh, these in particular, I use them for my spice jars, and I use a white marker on them, and it stays put. It's really nice. Now they have a lot of these things you can stick on your jacket or your coat or your shirt. Fierce, definitely me. Alright, and on this side, we've got a bunch of different craft supplies and beading supplies. There's some googly eyes. It says there's 125 pieces. Think about that. That means there's one eye without a match. Well, I guess you could put a black patch on the other side. I don't know. And these are really nice. These are little glass jars with metal tops, and they have slightly larger ones. Those are really good for beading, or for if you buy some herbs and want to put them in something. There's a miniature cutting board. And there's craft papers, disco tiles, although that's not going to cover a whole lot of stuff. They have pipe cleaners. And then there is a glue gun, but they don't have any glues in it, and they don't sell the glues. That's a lot of fun looking up those. I had to buy them at Walmart. And they have pliers, and you can get embroidery hooks and crochet hooks, all kinds of doodads and things. Here's those paints. I really think they had a nice assortment of paints, and it looked fairly fresh. They weren't separated. High quality. They have glitter paints, and they had the standard ones, mattes and satins. They have all the brushes, and look up here. Isn't this just absolutely adorable? The easel comes with the brush and all these colors, and it has the finger holes so you can hold it while you're painting your masterpiece. What a great gift for a kid. There's your canvases down there. I think it looks like a 9 by 11 at the largest size. And then there's washable paints for kids. You have sponge applicators, knife tools if you're using oils. And then there's some wood parts, wood slats if you're doing any crafts and you need extra wood. It's nice in a pinch. I love these chalkboards too. And then these have a stand to them, so you can write something for a sale or a restaurant, table at a wedding, something like that. And then these are the they start them and then you paint them. Now this is made in the USA. This is a crate. It was $10, and it's very well made. I thought at first it would hold record albums. I'm not sure if it's 12 by 12 on the inside. And then there's some paint by number kits, and I love these. These are wallpaper sheets. You can use them in a variety of crafts, or you can actually cover like the wall behind the stove, that kind of thing. You can cover boxes with it. You can, use it as it's supposed to be used as wallpaper, but it's just got a lot of different uses and so many pretty designs. I saw somebody cover a clipboard with that, and it looks so nice. And look at this. You can make it look like you have bricks behind your stove. Very, very cute. My favorite pattern is this one on the left here with the birds. You can cut them and you can make them into a frameable art piece. So, I mean, there's just no end to creativity here at the Dollar Tree. They have the real standard subway tiles or tin roof tiles if you want to go forth in that way. There's all their light bulbs, and then they have the lights that you can turn on and off. You want to turn an outlet into 6 outlets, you got that option. Then we have styluses, cords, connectors. That's nice. Magnifier. Keychain light. And they have these beautiful neck pillows. I like that one, and then the shark grabbed my attention, so I made my friend put it on. It has a button on each end so you can attach it so it won't come off. But it's perfect for wearing if you're sleeping in a car. I made him put it on. He's still speaking to me, but I don't think he was real happy doing this. Yep, you just attach those two buttons and it looks like the shark is circling your neck. Really cute. Now this is really interesting. This is like a Swifter with an attached thing that you put their soap in. You can spray the soap out and then wipe with it. That's really neat. And here's the different assorted toilet papers and paper towels. They do have some brand names as well. So we're just moving along here. There's some more lights. Speakers, more tech stuff. Here's the auto and tools section. All right, if you're going to change your own oil, you've got a drip pan there, and you've got a really nice, this is nice for changing the oil or even just adding oil to your car because it's nice and long. I'm not sure I would trust their particular oil grades. Is that an ashtray? Auto bucket. Suspiciously looks like an ashtray. We used to smoke in cars. Those are markers for windows so you can embarrass your friends. They had a drain snake, and then we're back over here. Electric drills. There's a nice long leveler. They have locks, gloves, bungee cords, ropes. They have this nice sander with a handle on it so you don't ruin your manicure when you're sanding. And this is bungee cord rope, so if you need to, you know, do anything. And those are those cable ties that you can put on things to create new art pieces. I've seen people do neat things with cable ties and some of the napkin holders and stuff. They've got an assortment of caulk, scrapers, brushes. They have goggles, wood glue. They've got wonderful painter's tape. Their painter's tape holds up just as well as name brand painter's tape, and they have assortment of colors. And then they have some cleaners for inside your car, some spray scent stuff, some things you clip on. And then instead of makeup, they have these things so you can place them on. They tell you what the weight is that they will hold. I love these guitar, it's called Driven, and it's guitar, titanium rain is what it smells like, hanging that from your windshield. And then they have the blow pop one too, is kind of cute. All the different super glues, there's different variants of it. And then these are kind of neat, the super glue squares. I use those a lot. And they have the Velcro squares too. They tape on one side and then they hitch together on the other. 3 different size scrapers for $125. That's pretty good. And they also have the rollers down at the bottom there. Toolboxes I'm not that impressed with. It's too small to hold anything. It's just not big enough to hold anything. There are tarps down at the bottom, the 8x10 tarps. And then they have different tool screwdrivers with the bits. Stationery and toys. Alrighty, stationery, they have lots of these little notebooks. I have 2 of them, one in one location and one in another location, so I'll always have like passwords to websites and friends' phone numbers and addresses. They have so many different styles. They are geared, a lot of them are geared towards children. However, there are some fairly nice ones, fairly plain ones for we adults. But I think it's a great way to put in your passwords to websites and get your address book for your Christmas cards, etc. Here is the school teacher's dream. They have lots of stickers and doodads for the classroom. And I believe teachers get 10% off too, but lots of stationery, to-do lists, whiteboards, markers. I like these felt trays too. They have plastic trays, grocery list pads, all kinds of different things, coupon books, post-it notes, and then they have the different types of folders to hold your paperwork, and these are envelopes for mailings. Some of them have the tape, some of them you have to lick the envelope. These are the security ones. The Mead, which is the brand name. They have scissors and all kinds of things. Over on this side, we have packing tape and regular tape. I have the matte, and you have the shiny. There's some poster boards. There's, you could do a wish board with this, or some kind of a presentation. You have black foam board. They also have white foam board somewhere, but not at this store. They have Elmer's glue, a ton of highlighters, markers, pens, staplers and staples. They have index cards, pencils, erasers, and here I am just marveling at all of the things. This particular type of pen that has the gripper on it is really good. I like that. I like black and blue pens. I don't use red. Two different sizes of index cards for those who need to know that. And then they even have colored index cards, which I'm just thrilled. Look at that. I tell you. Okay, there's construction paper to keep the little ones occupied, and the dry erase board markers, and those are really good, those multicolored markers. They have crayons and chalk. There's those letters you can put down on things if you're doing signage, you know, for yard sales or whatever. And just look at me marveling over all of these things. They have Sharpies in different shades, purple, orange, blue, and black. Wow. But I like highlighters. I use highlighters a lot. Over here we have coloring books and activity books. These are the Crayola crayons, and you can see the pricing on them is much higher than the $125 you'll pay for the store brand. But they have some great activity books. I used to love getting coloring books when I was a kid. And then they have their brand, which is $125 for crayons. They're not as nice. There's that Remind magazine, which is all about 70s and 80s stars. A little bit of memory lane there. They also have Space Solution, freezer recipes, all kinds of different things. These are elegant push pins. Look at those coin rollers. Yeah, that makes plastic boxes. And they have the little legal pads for notes, folders, calendars. These are cubby and drawer organizers. I like that felt line drawer liner, and that came in a couple of different sizes. They were $125 each, but really, really high quality feel to them, and the two different shades of post-it notes. And a lot of stickers, bright stickers, sign here kind of stickers, but the push pins were really nice. Trombones, they call those paper clips, and I never thought about it, but they do look like trombone handles. Those are pretty, very elegant looking push pins, and then there's the plain ones. Pads of lined paper. Here's a nice listing for each day of the week so you can know what your appointments are. Receipt book for shady dealings, or for if you're getting cash receipt for something business-wise. Scissors. Coin envelopes. They had two different sizes, little ones and big ones. So those who know, I guess you know. I don't know what they're for. There's three sizes. There was a smaller size too. Down at the bottom are clipboards and larger calendars. And then there's different paper holders. This one's nice. It's waterproof, so if you've got some paperwork or something you're carrying, you can protect it from the rain. Dizzying. I'm so sorry. Going so fast here. Eesh. 2026 planners. A lot of stationery items. Now we're into the toys. I love the Hot Wheels. There's so many cool different colors and designs. I was a Corvette girl myself. And then they have figurines. They do have like Nickelodeon characters. There's SpongeBob. And they have Ninja Turtles there. Now there's just cheap toys for parties. I'm not sure I'd put guns at the party, but Play-Doh. I'm not sure I really care for their Play-Doh either. It's very strong smelling. And they have glow sticks, a lot of glow sticks. And on this side they have jigsaw puzzles, 500-piece ones. I believe they have 1,000-piece ones too. Really cute. The flower one's quite pleasant. $3.50. Yeah. Okay, and then there's just regular junky toys. However, look at these up here. Aren't they cute? The little dog. Comes in his own carrier. And you have treats in there too, I think. I don't know. Isn't that just stinking cute? I actually like the one with the light brown up there with the ears sticking up funny. That's really cute. Toys. This is not my jam. You even have batteries to put in some of the toys. Now here's their Squashmallow imitations. Kind of cute. There's a little bit of an assortment here. Who would ever want this? It looks like one of those poodle balloons. I don't know. The things they think kids will like. And there's cute bears, cute fox. Yeah, there's an assortment of animals there. Silly string. Boy, we used to attack each other with that. And then there's lots of trucks and cars. I used to love to play trucks and cars. And then on this side we have the Barbies and the Black Barbie wannabes and the cheapy dolls at the bottom that the little kids would grab. So their party section and cards are really popular, and you know their cards are only about 50 cents each, and they have an assortment for everything. Thank yous, bereavements, get wells, happy birthdays, happy anniversaries, retirement, everything. And these are, what am I doing here? I am looking at some of these napkins. These are new. They have, instead of 30, there's 25, but look how pretty they are. That's nice. They're $1.25 each. They have lots of tablecloths and matching plates. I had to show you the thank you cards and the invites to parties, and then there's more Valentine's there. Okay, so starting with the gift wrap and paper and party stuff, you cannot beat these prices. Really, really nice assortment of bags. And look at how pretty these are. Look how interesting. Sweet bundle of joy. Happily ever after. And there's the shredded stuff at the bottom just for you. And then just for me, that's a wine bag. Cheers. Another wine bag, really cute. And these bags are just so beautiful. It doesn't show it very well here, but there's glitter on this bag, and it looks so pretty. It just sparkles. It's so nice. And this one is nice, too. Very, very unusual bag. And this is beautiful for springtime. Congrats. Then there's the kitty ones with the dogs and the funny stuff. Dinosaurs. Really cute. Yeah, that's a fierce-looking T-Rex. Look at they have all nasty-looking dinosaurs. Kids will love that. And there's some ribbons there. And then they do have rolled paper as well. There's not a whole lot on those rolls. You could maybe wrap one gift with it. And then they have the curly Joe kind of ribbons. And then they have the big standard type of ribbons. And look how big compared to my hand. They're really quite large. So they'd be quite substantial on a gift, and they have more rolled paper. Again, they don't cover a lot. There's not a lot on those rolls. Those are cute. They look like little controllers. for sippy cups for kids. And then they have little thingies to take away. Oh, you don't even have to take your top off. You can buy 5 of them for $1.50. All right. There's some streamers there, balloons, cake toppers. This one is a flashing cake topper. That's kind of nice. It comes in pink and blue. And we've got more balloons and stuff. They do have a balloon blower upper, but I'm not sure how effective it is. There it is. They have blue and red. Then there's a standard party hats. They have buckets. Lots of gift baskets. And then there's party wear. You know, there's like really nice trays. This particular plain tray has served me well because you can use it in multiple seasons. It's really good for cookies and things. There I am just marveling over the champagne flutes. It came in silver or gold. And I'm looking at, I like that silver tray for cookies or cake display. Really nice. They have propane, little propanes there too, don't they? And they have the picks, party picks for things. You know, for your charcuterie board, you can have nice stuff. And they've got wine carafes, but they are plastic, but they are wine carafes. You don't have to worry about them. Staffer there was very nice to me. She was, the staff at this particular store was extremely nice. She asked if I could help, if I was looking for anything. Then she saw the camera and she kind of booted out of the area. These doilies are really nice. It says there's 32 in there, but I have a hard time ripping them apart. There's more like 6 or 7 in there if you rip them out like I did, because they are imprinted together so hard. Look at this sectioned off party plate. So that would be very convenient for a kid's party. Then I have different colors of the rainbow if you want to do a theme. I'm into this green, so I was just, you know, pulling out. You can get some napkins, you can get little cake plates, you can get a matching tablecloth, and actually you can even find a cup that goes with it. So I think that's really neat. You can do it with themes or people's favorite colors or, you know, the time of the year it is. Okay, here we go. Cosmetics. On the end cap of most of the end caps, there was Ioni stuff, and they had plumpers, mascaras. The Rockstar mascara I did try, and I didn't like it at all. It didn't give me any kind of Rockstar lashes. I was very unhappy. I love the fans. Here's another end cap. This is LA Color Eyes and Lips. I always get an allergic reaction from their lipstick, so I don't ever buy their lipstick. My lips turn bright pink. And in this end cap, they had different lashes. They had half lashes. They had invisible line lashes. Really nice. We're working our way now into the soaps. This is more hair care, skin care kind of stuff. I don't like the Power Stick. This is their version of the Olay, the vitamin C one. Good deal there. I have not had any luck with their body washes, so I'm not recommending any of their stuff for that. Now over here we have the various nail polishes. You'll see the ones in the foil containers are name brands, but they're separated. They're old. See how separated that Wet n Wild is up there? Awful. Argan Lux, these down here in the packaging, that's not normal. I just don't know why they're here, so I wouldn't trust buying them. This Miracle Nail was a fail for me. It didn't do anything. It didn't, actually it didn't even dry. So the 2-in-1, this is a base or top coat from LA Colors. They also have a treatment 3-in-1. Which looked kind of interesting. I almost bought it, but I, for some reason, did not. That's the Ultra Nail Hardener. I have bad nails. They have matte hardeners. They have really bad nail clippers. I would not buy any of their nail clippers. Now here's that cuticle serum. I'm going to try it. Here's a Cosmic Colors nail polishes. Those are all good. And then the fake nails, you can get nail tapes. You can get fake nails themselves. And the Ione nail glue is outstanding. I have that personally. I don't like their brushes that much, but I do like those MHB or MIB brushes. Those. I'm picking one out now. It's a different shape than the one I have, but they come with a case on them. They're very sturdy. I've washed mine several times, and it works really nicely. Down there you have containers for travel, hand sanitizer cases. There's sponges. Application sponges. Usually the hand sanitizers are located in the checkout. They like to keep an eye on that because people are stealing things. There's some Ione stuff here, some LA Colors. Again, LA Colors lip stuff always turns my lips pink, so there's something in them that doesn't jive well with me. The sharpeners aren't that great. Up here, the dual-sided spoolies, that's a great thing right there. You can use it to brush through your lashes after your mascara. You can use it for your brows to straighten out your brows after a gel. I really like those. And we've got down at the bottom here, this is a lip oil from Be Pure. And there I am with it in my hand. I did purchase this, and I really like it. Scaring off all the locals. They're coming down, seeing the camera, and they're like, whoop. Here I am observing and marveling over all the makeup stuff, and there I am pointing, going up and down each row, painfully so, looking to see if there's anything new or anything in a color that I can wear. I know that the bronzers are really good from LA Colors. It's been a while since I've used them. There I am pointing again. That's a relic bag I have, actually. I've thrifted that. I thrifted the coat too, but I'm not really pleased with how this coat is looking from the side and the back. Gosh, look like a football player. Yeah, here we go. They have wipes, makeup wipes down at the bottom. I would not purchase those. And different eyeshadow palettes from LA Colors. I've used them in the past, and they're not bad at all. Some of them are good. The 4-pack that I got was not at this particular one. I wanted to see if they had other colors in it because I was so impressed with it. Now at the end here we have liquid blush from Ione. Those work nice. The lip pencils. They have, that's lash glue. Ione has great lash glue. And there's some brow gel, but it's a dark brown color. I love their fans when you're putting makeup on. Okay, here's some hair care, skin care, and medical. Hair care, they have a lot of products that you can use for fastening your hair, hair ties, elastics, hair bands, lots of hair bands, really pretty ones. Some of them have sparkles on them. And then there's here's some spa stuff. These are smelly oils and bath stuff, scrubs, things like that. That was Sugar Plum body scrub. I'm not a body scrub fan. They have bath bombs and bath gels. They do have Epsom salts, but there are small quantities. I love the assortment of puffs they have, and about every 3 months or so I will buy a new puff. They have some on sticks and some that are just loose. Wake Me Up for Brunch, and then they have the Minnie Mouse looking ones. Feminine hygiene stuff, women's underwear, I believe those are $5 for a 10 count, so they're 50 cents each. And then they have all kinds of powders and lotions and stuff so you don't smell like a female. For her wipes. Down at the bottom, the Yardley ones are quite nice in the car if you're eating and you get your, fingers coated in barbecue sauce or something. They're really good for cleanup for that. If you are a person with high melanonin, you've got do-rags and different types of devices that are good. Now, this is a wet brush, which I think is great. This is their version of the wet brush. So you don't damage your hair if you're brushing it out after a shower. I don't like any of their shampoos, not a single one. I have never had any luck with them. Now there's a beard dye for men or women's eyebrows if you want to do it. If you have brown or black eyebrows, the beard dyes work nicely. Now there's their version of Naturum, I believe, and Lotus is another one of their dupes. These are supposed to be dupes for Dove dry shampoo, but I have not tried them. I was tempted, but they were $3, and I thought, you know, for just a couple dollars more, I can get something of quality. Now on this side, there's quite an assortment of colors of those wet brushes, and then they have a lot of like regular brushes. They've got magnifying mirrors. And then this little mirror, this is one of my favorite items. It's got a magnifying mirror on one side, and then you push that up and it's a brush on the other, and it closes up like a little clamshell. I really like that a lot. They have scalp massagers, sleep-in rollers. I've never had luck with those. There's the Goody hair elastics. The bobby pins, they had quite an assortment of colors, which I thought was very nice. And all of these brushes, some of them are duo fiber brushes. Some of them are protected with the little balls on the end so you don't hurt your scalp. Large and small sizes. And down at the bottom of the hair area here, you'll see an assortment of spray bottles. And I did pick up a purple one. They had blue, purple, green. They had clear. They had a nice travel section. These are the deodorants. And this is, I think they're trying to dupe something high-end here with the Pure Vitamin Infused Vanilla and Peaches non-aluminum. And then look at the Sasquatch dupe here. They've got Mountain Mist. They even drew a guy that looks kind of like the Sasquatch guy. But these are made by Power Stick. And I'm not sure if I can hold your breath that it's going to be as good. It is aluminum free, and the scent is quite nice, actually, the Mountain one. I don't care for the Power Stick line. Here's some fancy skin stuff. The Be Pure line has their Glow Up Recipe copycats. They also have the serum capsules next to those. You can break those open and use them on your skin at night. There's the Dermacils are pretty good. Now this is a brightening C complex, and the oatmeal toner is nice. And then this is the Glow Recipe copycat called the Glow Up Serum. There's also an overnight moisturizer. I did pick that one up, the overnight moisturizer. I can't tell you how well it's working yet, but no miracles as of this date. Some more hand sanitizer cases. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. And I love those vitamin C face scrubs. They do have like their Pond's dupe. And then this is their dupe of the First Aid Beauty moisturizer, Extreme Care moisturizer. And this is their Olay Revitalist dupes. I did buy the eye serum. I think I used it last year and I couldn't tell if it was doing anything or not. I'm taking one from the back. In their dental section, they've got quite an assortment of toothpaste, toothbrushes. They have natural ones, electric ones, different shaped ones, and they have a ton of different toothpastes. Now the toothpaste sizes are smaller than in a regular store, and so the pricing isn't as great as you think it is. I do have these picks, the floss 2-in-1 floss picks. They have toothpaste too. I almost bought that. I like this Guru Nanda company. And they have Fixodent. They do have teeth whitener pens. And then they have all these natural oils. And then down here they have hand sanitizers that are the old-fashioned kind. And then at the very bottom they have the Kleenex portable packets. They have a lot of their vitamins and zincs and things. Electrolyte hydrating powder. Hydrating powder. Then there's cough drops, and there's only a few cough drops in each of these bags. I mean, I think there's like 10 or something in each bag, so there's not a lot, but if you need it for your travel or whatever. Those gummies are really good. I did try the mushroom complex. It was quite good. And we've got the Pepto-Bismol, the Gassies. They do have sleep aids and things like that in here too. They have standard. And then finally, at the checkout, this is where you'll see those hand sanitizers, Elusive. Okay. So for household stuff, I don't buy a whole lot because there's a lot of plastic in the Dollar Tree, and I don't like all the microplastics and the BPAs that leach into your food for food storage. It is mighty convenient to have a small little plastic container to put leftovers in, or if you have people over and they want to take some home, it's kind of a disposable thing that they can take with them. But on a daily usage situation, I don't like to buy any plastic containers. They do have glass containers in different sizes. This is the perfect size for leftover vegetables or fruit or dessert, something like that. It's got a plastic lid on it, but it's glass. And for $1.25, I think this is really quite a nice little item. They have a couple different sizes. Depending on the store that you buy it in, you can get slightly larger sizes as well. But glass is always the best storage solution. And this is actually freezer friendly, microwave friendly, and heat friendly. So I think this is one of the great items that you can purchase at the Dollar Tree. Now, speaking of plastic, for the very first time in about 30 years, I don't have a dishwasher in I'm in senior housing, and I don't have a dishwasher. And I was like, where's the dishwasher? Where's the food disposal? You know, it's like, no. They don't have those luxuries in my new apartment. So I had to wash dishes in the sink. Now, if you've washed dishes in the sink before and you've washed like glasses, you know that when a glass breaks, you really have a problem if it's a sink. So I like to have like a little tub that I will wash dishes in, so that way if the glass breaks or clunks into something else and breaks, it's contained. And I think that these are only $1.25, and they're the perfect size to fit in a smaller sink. So I use these for dishwashing, and I think they're a great buy at the Dollar Tree. Speaking of glasses, I love these for red wines, and I love these for white wines or rosés. These are great glasses. They're inexpensive. They've got a nice stem. They're heavy. They're sturdy, and you can replace them if they break very easily and inexpensively. For $1.25, this is my glassware pattern. Now, one thing that they do that's quite charming actually is they have seasonal glasses and seasonal decorations. What I did notice that in the recent years, this one is a few years old, and if you notice on the inside, it's colored leaves on the inside. The newer glasses that they have are colored only on the outside, and they're white on the inside, so they look like white stickers. When you're drinking, you see the white sticker background, and I don't think that's quite as nice as the older ones, which have they're colored on both sides. And these work really well. Again, you know, some of these don't work well in dishwashers with harsh detergents on them, and they will wear over time. And I hand wash a lot of these types of glasses, but I think these are just wonderful. If you can find the older ones, like in a thrift store or something, that have the images on both sides of the stickers, those are the best. Now some of these bowls, they're really nice, they're seasonal, and I use them not just for eating stuff, but this is my makeup soap and a makeup, this is a makeup kind of a pad where you would wipe your makeup brushes across it. This is also a Dollar Tree item, but I just use this as my my makeup brush cleaning kit. So that, you know, and I think it's a really pleasant wintry kind of pattern here. So I use the bowls for that. For dishes, they have drying mats. I thought that that was a nice thing. These are still $1.25. These things are really cool. They're fake candles, and if you're in a place that doesn't have, you can see it here. There we go. If you're in a place that doesn't allow candles, which, you know, most apartment buildings don't nowadays, that's kind of something you can put on there. They've got little ones that you can put inside, like pumpkins, or now these don't last a whole long time, but they are really handy if you have a little party thing going on or a special dinner or something. I think these are really nice, and you know, some of them even flicker, you know, which is kind of nice. I like that. For the bath, they do have different types of shelving and things like that. I'm not that keen on it, but I do like, they have the puffs. You know, the puffs are really nice, and they have these shower caps. These are the lined shower caps, which you can throw in the washer. I turn them inside out, throw them in the washer, and you know, you've got a really nice little thing. These two things are my favorite for the shower. As far as these go, I don't think the Kleenex, the toilet tissue, or the paper towels are a very good deal right now, because you can get them much cheaper in other places right now. Even in the grocery store, I get packs of 3 for much less than what it costs. However, this shape, even though this is not a very cost-effective shape, I have a handmade bird container, and it's more decorative than anything, but I very rarely use that, but I do like to use these for inside here. They have a million light bulbs, different types of light bulbs, and I have found them to work just fine. I don't know how regulated these kinds of things are, but this is a 3-way bulb, and then they have others that are just one way. But I think that, you know, the light bulbs and things are something you can pick up there quite easily. For other tools, really nice. This is a leveler. If you're moving, you want to get your pictures straight, your nails hung in the right spot or whatever. These are wonderful. I love levelers and tools like this. $1.25, well worth it. This was something I picked up. It was a $5 item, but what it is all the different tools. Push it up here, and there's even a light, so you can, while you're screwing it in, you can see it. I just thought this was just the coolest tool, and I have used this so many times. You fold it down, you've got all your bit tops, star, Allen wrench, flathead, Phillips, all of them in different sizes. And this was probably the handiest tool, plus it's got a belt clip if you're really into it. I think this is one of the best tools I've ever owned. I don't know if they still have them there, but they do have lots of things where it's, you know, it's a base, and then you have lots of bits to add to the base. Not as much loving that as this. This was great. If you see this, this is well worth the $5. They also have lots of sanding items. They have sanders with the handles on them, or they have just the plain sanders if you're sanding furniture or frames, or, you know, whatever you're sanding. Maybe the putty on the nail holes that you put in, you know, you can sand that stuff down. But they have lots of things like this that I think are very convenient. They also have like lots of markers, crayons, pens, and they're pretty good. They're not bad at all. They do also sell Crayola, but they do have their own jot and what is the name of this one? Crazy Art. Crazy Art is supposed to look like Crayola. But you know what, if it's just a one-off project like a protest sign or something like that, you can use stuff like this. They do have acrylic paint, they have little ones, folk art type of paints, you know, if you're doing any type of project and you just need one color. For $1.25, it's a pretty good deal. You can get them at Walmart and other places for around the same price, so they're not an extraordinary deal, but these larger size ones are. If you have, you know, if you're painting like the door frame after you took the closet door off, and you want to, like, you know, make it look nice, this works nicely. So they have acrylics, they do have washable paints for kids, they have lots of construction paper, and they have really cute paint sets and things. I saw an easel there with all the different colors around. I thought, what a great little gift for somebody. And then below the paint stuff, you'll see all of the canvases. They have different sizes from small to, I think, 8 by 10 or 8 by 9 by 11, I think they go up to. But that's like a wonderful little gift for somebody if they're really into arts and crafts. A young teen or an older child may enjoy something like that. They had lots of coloring books. They also had magazines, gossip magazines, and things from, I think they had Remind or Rewind is the name of that one. It talks about shows from the 70s and 80s and stuff. It's kind of old person stuff. And in stationery, you can get folders if you're bringing a resume somewhere, or you want to use, you want to collect the stuff because you're going to the RMV to register your car. You can bring your paperwork in these. They have these really nice, like, folders and things. I love these stickers, and I use them in my pantry. This is, you know, how I use them in my pantry. I got the jars on Amazon, and I just do this, and a lot of times you can get a white pen. It's like a white magic marker, and it looks like chalk, but it dries like a magic marker. And I've washed this, and it hasn't come off. So I love these stickers for labeling my spices. Also, they have these little books, which are very convenient for doing like an address book or your passwords to websites, things like that. You can use one of these little books. They have a plethora of designs. That a lot of them are designed for kids, but I like this. I think it's really nice for $1.25. It holds. I have it as an address book. I have my stamps in the front, and it's great. I like it. In the kitchen, these are the pre-cut parchment papers. And you can literally just, they're already pre-cut to fit like a general small cookie sheet. So you can put them down, spray them with some Pam or some coconut oil or something, and then put your cookies on there or whatever, or your pizza. I like to use these on your pizza as well. So these are really nice. They're pre-cut. They have the smaller ones, which are really nice in muffin tins. I think they're great for with hamburger patties. They display it with like a hamburger patty, something in between the hamburger patties, which is nice. If you freeze anything, you can put them in there with it. But the pre-cut big ones save me so much time during holiday time when I do a lot of baking. Now, I didn't have to measure it out, try to cut it and get it and fold it and everything else. So I think these are great, the parchment paper pre-cuts. For storage, again, I'm not a big fan of plastics, but these work really well. This is my dirty brush basket, and I put brushes during the week. I don't use a brush twice. I just, anything around my face and my eyes, I think that my eye care is more important, so I will put all my brushes, face brushes and eye brushes, and any tools, lash combs, things like that. And actually, you know, I like to use, and I'll go over that next, but I like to use products to clean things. These things are great for dividers if you have drawers or compartments I have a plastic roller thing that has several different units, and I put these in to divide up like the concealers from the foundations, things like that, lipsticks, mascaras from eyebrow products. You can use these, and these come in an assortment of different shapes, so you don't have to use this particular shape, but it's very convenient. And I love the designs and the colors in these. I think they've got some really pretty muted colors. These have been so convenient to have in my purse. I drink coffee a lot, and of course I always dribble it. It dribbles out the side depending on how they packed it at the Donkey. Sometimes the lid isn't on really tight, or even in my own thing, I drink it and it comes out too fast and I dribble down. These things have saved me. They're just, it's a sheet of stain remover. You just wipe it on there, and then I blot it with a tissue and gets the stain right out. It's a really good pre-prep for laundry. These are great. They have a pen too that they sell. They even have a little kit that has the pen, and it has like 5 of these. So that's a great deal from the Dollar Tree, and they work really nicely. You know, just like a Tide pen, you know, those Tide pens, this is their version. In the potty, in the bathroom, they have these, put a lid on it. There's like 2 or 3 different flavors, and they have like the spray bottle, or they have these flat, very easy to carry in your purse things. If you have a situation where you have to use the restroom, and it's a little more complex than usual, you spray this in first, and then after you make your deposit, you flush and everything, and it kind of dissipates that smell. So anyway, that's the put a lid on it, and you can find these in the cleaning areas, which is kind of neat. And also they have them over by the scents and room sprays. So it's a really good idea to spray your makeup palettes, your powders, and actually I like to spray a cloth and wipe down my lipsticks as well, especially after you've had a cold or the flu like I have. I actually will dispose of a mascara that I've used during the time I've had the flu, because there's really no way to disinfect the mascara tube itself. You can disinfect the brush, but you've already put that brush back in after using it on your eyes, so it's kind of lost cause. Thank goodness I love Profusion mascara, and it's only $3.98. So I let this dry overnight, and it should kill a lot of the surface germs. And the spray bottle itself, you can get these in the makeup department. They've got them in different colors. I like the purple because when I'm old I will wear purple, you know. So it holds a lot. You can diffuse it. I mean, I have the 91% alcohol, which you can get there. I think they have the 72 or 73%, which is actually preferred, because as long as it sits on your makeup, it actually kills bacteria for a longer period of time. The 91 tends to work immediately, and it's already dry. It's already dry. So it may not have had enough time to kill all of the bacteria that's on the surface of my powder products. So I do this with my makeup once a month, and I think it's a really good hygiene habit to get. It's not expensive to do, and it doesn't hurt you. If you feel better, you can wipe these things down. I do with lipsticks and eye pencils. I will spray them. Now you've used an eye pencil, your hand's on there. You've got a lot of germs on there as well. So it's just, you know, I'm not being too paranoid or anything, but I think it's a good idea to spray down yourself, especially this time of year. The last household item I wanted to discuss with you is food. I generally don't care for a lot of the food. Sometimes I'll get the animal crackers, or I'll get one of the little bags of popcorn. It's a pretty good deal. For $1.25 you get enough popcorn in there to make several batches, and it's just plain. Also, there's pre-popped popcorn that they have. It's lightly salted, like theater tasting popcorn. And then they have all the candies and stuff, so that's kind of nice. You can use those once in a while if you have cravings for something. This was a surprise to find. This is the pineapple aloe vera juice, and this was $1.25. The Goya version of this is $1.99 in the grocery store. So this is a great deal. It's got the pulp in it from the aloe vera. It's supposed to be really, really good for you. And I like it. I don't like, when I think of aloe vera juice, you know, it sounds really awful. It sounds granola eating, like one of those health people, which, you know, that's not my jam. This really tastes good, and with the pulp and everything, it's just so good for you. So I put this in the refrigerator, and I enjoy this, especially in winter when you need a little more hydration, because we're all so dry and our skin is dry. Something like this is really good to intake. Now, speaking of, the last storage I have is this, and it's they have some cute patterns. Some of them are just plain gray, but this one happened to be the plaid, and it sells out quickly. But you can put like toilet paper in there, dishcloths. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can put in here, and I have this in my linen closet. I have several of them in there holding different varieties of things. I have tablecloths in one, and I have toilet paper in another. So I mean, it's, you know, really nice little thing. So for $1.25, these are really nice. They're not super sturdy. They can't hold an awful lot, but you know, I think it's a really nice little thing. Beauty, for hair stuff, you can't beat these wide tooth combs. I mean, they're just, I don't know why I have 3 of them, but and then they have different types of brushes. They have round brushes. They have the big flat ones that are like the wet brushes. And the combs, the different combs. They have, you know, men's combs, you know, and combs that are just the black plain. But I think, you know, the variety of these are so inexpensive. For $1.25, you can get some really cute designs. Sometimes seasonally they will change them up, and I think that's a great deal. They also have different hairbands. For $1.25, you know, it's a cute little thing for a festive look or video. They have some with sparkles on them, and they have different colors if you're doing a theme. And I think these are great. These are nice little additions. They also sell like, you know, the cotton rounds, and they also have like, you know, Q-tips, things like that. So you can get those kinds of supplies fairly cheaply. I love the fact that they have fans. I think their fan selection is really nice, and it's a nice way to dry off your makeup after you have put it on. They have, and this is new, they have micellar water. This is a cleansing item, and this works just as well. This is a big tube for a big container. This is 8 ounces, and you know, I have a 3.4 ounce of the Garnier. These two work exactly the same. I saw no difference. I have one on one side of my face, one on the other side of my face, no difference. So the micellar water, worth $1.25. They also have skincare that's trying to be a copycat to popular skincare. This is supposed to be like the Olay eye serum. Now, I've been using it. I don't know if it's like the Olay. I don't have the Olay, but I do use an eye cream because I'm 68 this month, just in a couple weeks. And I like to use an eye serum underneath my makeup. It does not make your makeup pill over the top, thank goodness. Some products, when you use them, will make your makeup pill. This was really quite viral. This is the Be Pure. This is the Watermelon Glow Up Night Moisturizer, and it's like the Glow recipe that was viral. It has a similar ingredient deck to it. I'm not sure the amounts or how regulated this is, but it does have a strong watermelon scent to it, which I guess would be pleasant in the summertime. I find that the scent of watermelon is a little bit strong, and in my skincare, I don't like added fragrances. So I'm not sure about recommending this. I did use this overnight a couple of nights. I haven't really seen like if it does anything major to my skin. I just don't trust a lot of these products for having a substantial amount of the active ingredients in order to work well. So I mean, this might be like 95% water, and then the other 5% is fillers and a little bit of the hyaluronic acid and niacinamide and stuff that it says it has. So I don't know what the ingredient deck listing is on this and if it can be proven that it's even in there at all. So I don't trust them, okay? I just don't trust them. Even though Be Pure has a really good track record with certain things. And this is petroleum jelly, which is, you know, your all-purpose wound. You put it over wounds instead of using vasodilation. You put it on, you can put it on your lips, you can put it on your eyes, you can put it, you know, all kinds of places where you need moisturization sealed. And petroleum jelly has, it's got a bad rap and it's got a good rap. And I've heard dermatologists rave that petroleum jelly can be used for a lot of things. I put it around my nail beds and it worked really nicely in protecting that. If I get a cut or something, if I'm, you know, baking and cutting something, I cut myself, I will put petroleum jelly on and then the Band-Aid. So I think that, you know, the petroleum jelly is a really good deal. They do have like a foot, this is a nail and foot brush. You've got your pumice stone on one side, your brush on the other. It's a great, you can use this as a body brush if, for those of you who do that kind of thing. But I think the pumice stone is the reason I got it, and you can have it in your like shower. And I think it's a great little item for $1.25. These are really popular. They come out with different flavors, and there were people in my area who were buying the whole box at one time, which I thought, this is just like not fair. But from Dollar Tree's perspective, they just want to sell it. So the newest flavor, which is mocha coffee, they do have vanilla almond, they have like cucumber mint, hibiscus. They have a lot of different flavors. These are the Be Pure line. Touchland started this whole craze of scenting hand sanitizers so they're not so unpleasant, because some of the basic hand sanitizers are awful. We have one here. Yeah, these basic ones, they feel awful. They smell like strong, straight up alcohol. They're not pleasant to use at all. So they added scent. This one is quite nice. It's a lemon scented one. I'm almost out of it. I really enjoy this. Gas pump, something you're going to be touching carts. You can spray the cart handle itself. You can spray your hands before you use the gas pump, and afterwards you can spray your hands again. You know, it's just, I don't know how paranoid you are, but I don't want gas pumps. Really freak me out. I just, So the lemon ones are really nice. These are the spray ones. These, you usually find them at the checkout. And I have all kinds of different flavors. They had limited edition ones. They had different flavors. I have a ton of them, the Be Pure ones. And you know, I've used some of them quite a bit. I liked this one was nice. There's a lot of different flavors of them, and I just think it's a good hygiene practice to spray your hand with hand sanitizer. As far as vitamins and things go, they do have like mushroom vitamin gummies. They also have these chewable melatonin. And I saw a pharmacist talk about these, and he said they're really good. This melatonin, the chewable one, you got to look for them. They're kind of low, below, you know, your eye level. They're down at the bottom. You only get a few in there, but I mean, if you're having a time where you're not able to sleep for some reason, you're stressed out or whatever, this is a really nice little, and I'm not a doctor or a nurse, but melatonin has been shown to help people relax, and this is something that you can pick up for $1.25, and there are 16 in there. I think you take 2 at a time. So that's 8 days a week. They also have alcohol prep pads if you're a diabetic and you need to do a sticking, or if you have a new cut from when you're making cookies or baking and you're cutting and you cut yourself. These alcohol wipes, there's 100 of them in here for $1.25. Really, really nice. So you can put them in your purse if you cut yourself. It's a good first step for cleaning your wounds before you add the petroleum jelly and the Band-Aid. This is a great little deal. They also have, it's $5, but this is a lidocaine spray, and this is really nice. If you've got like a sore shoulder, aching something or other, put this on. The lidocaine really helps with pain relief if you've got something going on your knee or something like that. I think the lidocaine stuff especially is nice for pain relief. They also have really cute novelty Band-Aids. You can get the prehistoric ones, which have different dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs, so I have the dinosaur Band-Aids. I keep a few of these in my purse. So I have like petroleum jelly. They have little mini ones. I don't know if I have it with me. I don't have it with me today. But little mini petroleum jellies. Put one of these prehistoric bandages over the top. They're really super cute, and they're the average size, the 3/4 by the 3-inch. So really cute. And you get 30 of them in there for $1.25, which is pretty good. It's really good for a kid, calm them down and stuff, The cuticle serum is new to me. I just started using it, and because it's wintertime, when I go out in the cold, my hands instantly crack. I get the little cracks on there. This cuticle serum helps you just put a little bit around your nail bed and really massage it in well, and it instantly makes your nails look better. So if you're headed out, you can do this, and it'll make your nails look hydrated. Around the nail beds we can get really gnarly, especially in the upper part where it cracks, but it really does a good job in moisturizing, at least temporarily. I don't know in the long term if it helps, but temporarily it does make your nails look a lot better, your nail beds. Now these are, it's foam padding, and you can put this around your Band-Aid to hold it on more securely if you're going into water, washing dishes or anything, or if you're, going into swimming or something. You can put this around your Band-Aid and it'll hold it on really well. This is a padding bandage, and it works almost like, it's pretty sticky, it's like really sticky, and it's got this kind of really padded feel to it. So if you've got a cut that's painful, this will help cushion, any impact. If you're using a pen or something and you've got a problem with your thumb, this is a really nice addition to the Band-Aid you put on. They also have like tongue scrapers, which, I don't know how graphic you want to be, but they do have tongue scrapers. They sell whole medical kits, even with picks and stuff like the dentist would use. I wouldn't recommend those so much, but the tongue scraper, toothbrushes. They also have tooth whitener pens where you stick it on your teeth and you wait 5 minutes and then you blot it off and rinse it. They have breath sprays. And they have interesting, unusual toothpaste. This is a purple one based out of Australia, and it's purple so that it counteracts yellow. So it's supposed to color correct your teeth a little bit. I don't know about that. And it's let's see if I can show you the purple color. Sitting here on my living room floor. Have to use it. These are still going strong. Okay. There's also the dental rinse. The Guru Nanda is kind of a nice brand. This is a little dental rinse to help take the germs out of your mouth and help with your dental health. They have, this is new, and this is their version, their copycat version of the First Aid Beauty moisturizer cream, and it's absolutely, it looks pretty close. I don't have my jar anymore. I had a little jar that I'd gotten. There's no scent to it. It's absolutely like whipped cream. It feels so good. Again, I don't know long term what kind of results you can get from this, but it feels great on the skin. I put it on my face. And this is Extreme Renewal Cream. You can use it on really dry skin, on your hands as well. This is a very expensive item for the name brand item. This is $1.25 at Dollar Tree, and it is supposed to be their version of the First Aid Beauty and has an ingredient deck that is very similar according to the ingredient deck. So that's something to look for. They also have inexpensive shavers if you do face shaving at all, and most of you should be doing some type of face shaving, you know, right in this area, under the nose, around the chin, this area, right around here. Your makeup will set so much nicer if you shave your face. And you can use these inexpensive Bic razors. They come like 5 in a package for $1.25. You can use those Flicker ones. They do sell those in the cosmetics section. They're a little bit rough. If you're nervous about doing this at all, personally I would use one of these. Your hair's not going to grow back thicker, darker, anything like that. It's just going to be, if you do it once a week, depending on your hair growth situation. Some people are hairier than others. I don't know. But I mean, with me, it's like maybe twice a month. And it's usually I forgot, you know, and then I'm like, ooh, wait a minute. Wow. So these things are really cheap and very, very accessible. There's also the low grade aspirin. Now this is something for what they call heart attack. If you think you're having a heart attack, take a few of these, chew some of these, and it's supposed to help with preventing more clotting. And so aspirin is supposed to be really good for thinning out your blood so that it's not as bad as it could be. Again, I'm not a doctor or a nurse. I'm not giving medical advice, but they do have the baby, we used to call it baby aspirin. It's orange flavored. Just chew a few of these if you think you're having a heart attack, and it's supposed to be nice. It's good to have that around. Now they also have different tinctures and things. This is actually a, let me use my, these are my readers from the Dollar Tree. These are $1.50, I believe. Glow Up Hyaluronic Acid, 2% Rice Ferment Night Booster. This is, Dr. Dre said this was a really good item, and I haven't really used it enough to say one way or another. But this is something that in the evening you can use this after you wash your face. You can put this on after you wash your face. You can put this on and then put a moisturizer over the top, and overnight, as your skin is healing itself, can use this type of thing. So Dr. Dre recommended this, so I did purchase that. I did want to mention a lot of hair clips and clips for your hair. The only thing I'll say is some of the cheaper plastic clips are very fragile, and in cold weather, if you snap them, they can actually break, or tines will come off of them. So I'm not going to recommend those, but these more metallic clips, they do a pretty good job holding your hair back when you're putting your makeup on. I think these are a great purchase. For makeup removing, after you put your eye makeup on and you mess up something, this is a pen. It's got a little bit of a roller gel on it what you do is take the roller gel, and then it takes off the makeup. Then you take a Q-tip or like a little tissue, and you can take everything off. I think it works nicely. This is from Be Pure or Be Color. Be Pure and Be Color are the same sister companies. This is a nice little item to have on your desk, so you don't have to like try to find a makeup wipe or something like that to try to take it off. I think it's just convenient and small, and you could just use a little Q-tip to take that off, and it works really nicely. The Ione nail glue, if you're putting fake nails on, and they do sell fake nails, this works really well. The Ione nail glue. Ione is one of the better of the makeup blends. If you're going to buy makeup in the Dollar Tree, which, you know, I was a little nervous about buying makeup in the Dollar Tree. I've done makeup reviews in the past, but I don't trust them. And I don't know where they're sourcing their talc that they use in a lot of their eyeshadows or their blushes. I don't know where they're sourcing things. And like things like the mascara, I didn't like the mascara, and somebody else said they loved the Ione mascara. Maybe there's so many different types. Maybe they used a different one than I did, but I didn't like the one I had. But the nail glue works nicely, and also the eyelash glue works nicely, and they sell eyelashes too, and they are worth having a look at, because you can always cut them in half and just do your outers, you know. But the nail glue and the eyelash glue from Ione, really, really good. This was a licensed product from them, and it was just on an end cap. This is the Wicked lip gloss. I got the pink one. I prefer the green one. This is a strawberry scented lip oil, and I thought it worked really nicely. This is from Taste Beauty. Taste Beauty does a lot of kitschy kind of themed character type of makeup, hit or miss. But the fact that they got these in here for $1.25, the Wicked one, I really like this a lot. This is a really pretty, let me just put this on. And that strawberry is quite prominent. But it works nicely. I think it's great. And it's a licensed product, and it is Taste Beauty, which is, they're a regular makeup company. I would trust them. Now they do have kitschy little things like this that they sell, the brushes, and some of them are quite good. This is nice for powder. You'll find that they're unevenly cut. You can actually cut those yourself to make them even if it bothers you, because they weren't shedding. It didn't shed. I've washed this brush probably 4 times since I purchased it, and it's just a cute little thing. You've got this beautiful, like, you know, when you're putting your powder on, it's just a cute little thing. Really, really nice. Some of their brushes aren't really that great. Recently they came out with this one, which had a case on it. And this is a perfect like contour or blush brush. Really, really nice. And they do have several different shapes in this with the case on them. Having a case over your brush is so nice, especially if you're traveling, to contain the brush and to protect it from stuff in the bag that it's in. And if it's got powder or shadow on it, it protects your other stuff from it. So I think the case on it was really great. They also sell these lash combs, which you would, after you put your mascara on, if you got clumpies or, you know, spider leg feet on it, you can just run this through and it takes it out. I did find a tool from Revlon I like better than this, but, you know, if you want something just on the interim, for $1.25, these lash combs are well worth it. Now, I wash these after every use. I do not use things that are close to my lashes and my eyes. I do not use them more than once before I wash them, and I think it's a good habit to get into. One of the few makeup products I really liked from the Dollar Tree is LA Colors. Now, they're a California-based company, but all of their stuff is made in China. So again, you've got the same sourcing issues, the same, you know, they've been in business a long time, since the 1980s, so they've been around a long time. And I've never really seen any major like lawsuits or problems or anything like that. This particular one, what's this called? Classics. This is from LA Colors, and I tell you, I bought this in a pinch because I had to stay overnight when I was moving. I had to stay overnight, and I just grabbed one of these in the Dollar Tree just to have some kind of eyeshadow, you know. And it worked so well. I was like really impressed. I mean, Natasha Denona kind of well. I was really impressed. This was, you know, when they're La Mercier, they're trying to bring it up as their higher end brand. It is not a higher end brand for them. Some of their regular stuff is better. Be Pure, I think, is better, and Ione is better than. But this blush, this is in Dusty Pink, and this is a liquid blush. It has a sponge tip applicator, very a la Charlotte Tilbury, but this color, I really liked it. I thought it spread nicely. I top it with a powder, and it works really nicely. This is the MC Liquid Blush, La Mercier liquid brush. And the last item is fairly new to me. This is the new lip oil. This is the hyaluronic lip oils. They only had the one color, which is Sweet Nude. Sweet Nude. There is no taste to it, no smell. I think it works really nicely. I have used other lip oils that I've liked less, so I think this is a really nice piece of makeup from the Dollar Tree. And it was mixed in with all their makeup stuff. You know, I have to look with my finger up and down each row to see if they placed anything new in. And this was in with that. It wasn't on an end cap or anything. Last but not least, you will find different nail polishes there. I like the Cosmic Colors a lot. I think it's a really nice brand. I'm wearing them today, and I think that they have, I don't know if you can see it, but they have some great colors. There's a great formulation, 1 to 2 coats, and you are good to go. I just really like them. They do have some in white packets. They do have name brand ones. I think they're old and separated. Maybe they've been opened or sampled. I wouldn't trust them. I've seen some good brands there too. I've seen, you know, yeah, Sally's, things like that. And I think that that's not, I just don't trust old makeup that's a brand name. Just because it's a brand name doesn't mean that it's in good condition. Why is it there? Why is it there? It's discontinued, it's old. There could be a plethora of reasons. Could have been heat damaged. A lot of those nail polish you'll see are very separated in that package. Just don't even buy them, because it's not worth it. So I think that's pretty much everything, and I hope you enjoyed my little tour of the store, and it was a lot of fun doing this particular video, because I do go shopping at Dollar Tree. I'm very selective about what I buy there, but what I do buy there I'm very happy with. So anyway, I hope all of you are having a wonderful week. Hope you're keeping well. Play safe. Take care. Toodles.